Hey, good morning, everybody. I want to share with you some insights on some of my Bible studies. So, right now, I'm learning about what Jesus teaches about the abundance mindset and how it applies to life in general. But for me specifically, how it applies to a business owner, somebody that is trying to run a business with a Christ-centered approach. So, I may not be preaching the gospel in the middle of business transactions. However, I want my customers to feel like I have a strong faith in what I'm doing, and I want to do it differently. So, one of the things that I'm looking at here is the abundance mindset. From an entrepreneurial standpoint, it's easy to have an abundance mindset. There's enough fish in the sea for everybody. My wife and I run a martial arts school. There's enough people in our demographic area to support multiple martial arts schools. So we have an abundance mindset that if they don't, connect with us, I'm sure that there's going to be somebody else they'll connect with. Like, it's okay. We're not going to badmouth other businesses if a student happens to choose them over us. We have an abundance mindset. We're going to do the best job that we can do. And if those people connect with us, then that's fantastic. We're here for them. But how does that apply? How does that apply biblically? So for Jesus, looking at Luke 6:8, this is where give and it will be given to you comes into play, where the act of giving and being open-handed tends to create a cycle of abundance. When Jesus talks about not worrying for tomorrow, or how God provides for the birds of the air and the flowers of the field, he's encouraging a mindset of trust and abundance. So sometimes just that piece of it right there can get Christians to be, we can use this as an excuse to not plan, to not create to not set our goals, to not create plans. That's not what that's intended for. It's intended to remove anxiety. It's intended to remove worry. We should make our plans. We should have faith in God. We should trust God's plan. Go back to the other video that I talked about God's plan. We should make our plans. We should trust in God's plan. However, once we do our part, we do our plans, then we have to keep an ear to God. But at the same time, the worry and anxiety that we are going to have as an entrepreneur, we've got to let it go. That's something that if you run a business, I know for a fact you will have anxiety. You will have somebody trying to take your business down. That there's just demons that exist in business ownership. It just does. Whether it's a customer, a client, a competitor, it's going to exist. And so, being that I am faithful, that I have trust in God, that I follow Jesus's teachings, I am going to have an abundance mindset, and I am going to not worry about tomorrow. I am going to allow God to continue to provide. If he can provide for the birds in the air and the flowers on the ground, then why can't he provide for me? Of course he can. So I'm just going to make my plans, follow my plans. I'm going to keep an ear to God, make sure that it's also God's will, and then I'm going to not worry. I'm just going to live in abundance. I hope you got something out of that. Take what you will, leave the rest. Talk to you later.